Okay, this is Series 2, Intellectual Discussions. Throw it.
Wow, we've covered a lot, haven't we?
Mm.
But really what I'm interested in is your relationship with material things.
Yes.
Everything we've discussed so far has been the result of man's thought, man's endeavours, technology that man has made.
Yes.
It's little microcosms that perfectly reflect a well-structured, well-ordered world that you can control and manage. It's your snow shaker dome.
Yes.
But what happens when these things of beauty are not developed through human mind, but by machines
I don't
exclusively?
know if they will. I don't know if they will.
What if they do?
I don't know whether they'll be as beautiful.
So you believe there has to be some investment of the human soul
I think
into it?
so. I think so.
Why?
Maybe it's just romantic notations of the past.
Is that simply a human frailty, or is there actually some quality to that?
I think it's just the arrogance of ourselves. Do you believe in extraterrestrials? That's another thing. Is there anyone else in this universe besides us? Do we think we are the only beings that are here?
It's a good aside, but I want to continue to drill down on this aspect of your thought before we go off on a tangent.
So what's your argument you're throwing at me?
What
there?
I'm trying to understand is if these things are no longer designed by human beings,
yes, will they be beautiful and
will
will
they
I
be
love
beautiful
them?
to you, and will you be able to invest the same emotion into it?
Probably not. Probably not.
Why?
I think it's that human condition that's involved in it, which is so important to it.
So again, there has to be passion.
I think so. Like you have a look at something like a perpetual calendar, which knows leap years and can calculate it. Okay, that says it's cogs turning. How the hell did someone? It's mathematics, really. They've worked out mathematics.
Sure.
How do we do this? How do we do that? It's so. Can a simple software program do the same thing? Yes, it can do it better and can do it more reliably. Yes. Is it as beautiful? Probably not. Have you ever seen those they have a thing called a quirker, which was a mechanical calculator? Have you ever seen those? It's a cylinder. It's a manual calculator.
And actually grinds.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's a thing of beauty, really, isn't it?
Sure.
How did he work that out? You know, that's kind of the same technology they use to split an atom, isn't it?
Have you ever had much thought about things at a quantum level?
It gets very, very. I'm not that intellectual.
It's very dicey, doesn't it?
It does get very dicey.
Do you believe that there could be another Archie existing in another
a parallel universe
right now?
Yes, there is a parallel universe in Bangkok.
Yes.
It's an interesting thing. The whole concept of time travel. Is there such a thing?
Well, we're all travelling through time right now. Everyone listening to you right now is travelling through time.
Can we go back?
Unfortunately, they're only travelling forwards.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, there's no one fixed constant of time.
No.
Everyone is travelling at different times right now. Even as I'm talking to you,
Yes.
we're actually travelling and experiencing time at different levels.
Yes.
It's kind of strange. And someone who was to walk into this room would be also judging time and experiencing it and aging at a different level to us as well.
Look, I think myself that I think realistically, if you analyze these things too far, one question I've always had is that where is the universe end? What's at the end of it? Where is this thing? Where is this thing? Where is it held in? What is it in? Where is it? Where it gets very.
It doesn't. There's a good analogy of that, of thinking that the universe is something which is expanding.
Yes.
It's expanding through all of its parameters at once. It doesn't have to expand into something. It's just expanding.
I think, to be honest with you, there. I think we all want to think that things go on. It'd be such a waste if it just dies tomorrow, wouldn't it?
So, are you conceited enough to believe that you go on forever?
Well, I hope I go on forever.
Is that part of the myth that you're creating
I
now?
think it is. We
Is
all
that the
believe
reason?
that. We all
Is that the
believe that,
reason
but
why
don't we?
sometimes you're Paul Pluto and sometimes you're ArchieLuxury? Because you want to perpetuate this, what the Greeks would call a mythos, this story?
Yes. It could be. It could be the reason to the madness. I think we're all pretty confused souls. You know, there is the Greek. It's a bit of a Greek tragedy. You know, it's sort of. I kind of think. I kind of think there is a hope that we could go on forever.
And will that being that goes on forever still be Paul Pluta / ArchieLuxury, or will it just be something absorbed into the rest of the universe as part of the flow of all energy, or will it be a distinct, opinionated ArchieLuxury?
I hope there would be an opinionated ArchieLuxury, but it's hard to say. I don't know.
What's the reality of that? Do you think that's feasible?
That we go on forever.
With our own identity.
That's a tricky thing, isn't it?
It's a very tricky thing. I mean, when the Greeks looked at the ego, it comes from the Greek word for I. It's all about the I, the who I am, the echo. I am, I this, I what the other.
Yes. It's I'm not that clever. This conversation is probably a couple levels above me.
But you've actually created alter egos.
Alter egos.
Archie, you're both Paul Pluta and Archie, and sometimes
Yes.
Satan Deville.
Yes.
In fact, there's probably many. There was other characters you've done as well.
Yes.
Is it maybe so if one of these egos doesn't exist in perpetuity, another might? You might hit the jackpot if you put it on all of the numbers of the roulette wheel?
That could be a way of looking at it. 00.
Do you think it's possible that's the reason why you've had as many kids as you have as well?
Ooh. That's an interesting thing, you know. In some ways, having the kids has been a financial suicide to me, but it kind of. I don't think any one person is really responsible for this as a mass of evolutionary forward. There's many geniuses who don't have kids who their ideas have been planted and those ideas have gone. You don't necessarily
I
have
agree.
to
Oscar
have,
Wilde would be a great
Exactly.
case in point. Yeah.
You don't have to have genetically your kid. I mean, what is genius? Is it the fact that you're related to Albert Einstein, or is genius they've taken your concepts, your mathematical ideas and formulas and taken it to the next level. It's sort of continually getting better and better.
So what are the ArchieLuxury or Paul Pluta ideas then that you'd want to see yourself as being the parent of these ideas or these memes that will propagate?
Well, I'm just trying to make a living, scratch out a living with carpet beetles in the studio. You know, I don't think I meant to answer these questions of the meaning of life. The
So
meaning.
we've talked anyway about Archie, the ego, the alter
Archie,
ego.
yes.
What about the super ego? So if you have a look at the construct of the ego, the super ego, and the id, super ego was really about the pressure to conform to society. How much
Yes.
pressure do you feel to conform?
Oh, I feel a lot of pressure to conform. You constantly, particularly, it fascinates me. That's why I love seeing different cultures. I love Japan. That's a society that has a lot of pressure to conform, high suicide rate, a lot of pressure to conform if you're in that society. And I like to. I don't actually feel at home in my own society. I prefer other. I'd like to prefer other culture. I like to disappear into a parallel universe, like in a different country. I really enjoy
So
that.
where is the alter ego, Archie, the one who's doing well for himself? Where is he right now?
Oh, the one who's doing well for him. Well, I think the truth is this. I like to try and. I like to think, what is wealth? Is wealth money? Is it possessions? Or is it freedom with your time? What is any of this stuff? Like so someone said to me, said, oh, I get 2 days, I have my weekends to myself. Well, every day is a weekend for me. So even though I may only, if you have a year off to yourself, that's like 5 years for a normal person who has a job.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to say.
So, in fact, you're close to where your alter ego would be.
Perhaps, but it could all end tomorrow.
So let's not end. I don't want to let you go on this. What are the other pressures to conform that you have?
Oh, you've always got pressures. You have pressures. You have to pay your bills, otherwise you're thrown out of your house. You have pressures to pay You have certain rules in society. It costs a certain amount of money to live in a society. You have to pay your
Sure.
taxes.
But
you
I'm
have
talking
to-
about the superego. You're one of the most opinionated people, and you've got the luxury of doing that.
Oh, you
in
think
your
I am
job.
opinionated?
Sure, you are. That's
I
why
see.
people watch you.
Opinionated. I see.
Yeah.
Fool.
Don't sit on the fence. There's no point to.
No. It's a tricky thing. I think I just try and churn out second-rate content to a third-rate audience. You know.
But you do that, and you do give your opinions. So you don't really have to conform in terms of the opinions that you share, the way you
Yes.
express yourself.
I like to think, as much as I think I am free, I am pretty conservative and do conform to societal norms. Like, I don't try and be nasty to people necessarily. I like to be kind.
Why is that, Archie? Is it fear?
No, nothing to do with fear. I just think, I mean, kindness is what is kindness? Kindness is how you respond to something, or how you treat a situation, or I don't really see myself as the center of the universe. A lot of people see themselves as everything revolves around them. Well, I don't think I am. I don't think I am that center.
What experiences have taken you away from thinking that you are the center?
Well, in my own life, you have people who die on you. You have my mother died when I was younger, so that changes your perception. I find it very hard to have a Christian ethics of let's just sing Kumbaya and pray together, and isn't Jesus wonderful? I think, well, life isn't really that fair. It's not that great. Work hard and you'll do well. Well, that sometimes doesn't work out. Yes, it doesn't hurt to work hard, but you look at these things, the quest to succeed or do things, then all of a sudden you're thrown on the scrap heap by the corporate world. You're no longer valuable, and they escort you out of the building. It's a very big, I think I've been very disappointed in my life. I've had a lot of disappointments. My career never went anywhere. I had my own business, which was enjoyable, and I had a lot of fun, but when I really wanted to do well and I tried hard, I could never pull up unless you're a indigenous lesbian in government, they don't want you. They don't. It's very hard to be an overweight, lower middle class, middle-aged white guy in today's society. I'm in the wrong time.
Archie, the Greek sophists spoke about the importance of knowing themselves. Do you know who Paul Pluto is now?
I think I do.
You think you do?
I think I do. I think I do. I think I do.
Let's go on to the third part of
Mhm.
the mind, which is the id, the animal instinct, the impulses. Sometimes the blind
impulses.
rage or the
blind
gut
rage.
instinct.
Yes.
How much of you is controlled fury and how much of you is just raw fury?
Oh, I'd say there's a lot of fury there. We're all disappointed in life. Things don't always go our way. And I don't think we really appreciate things until we've lost them.
Material things or
Well, everything,
people and relationships?
everything. Health, for example, we it's. I think it was the Dalai Lama says that it's funny how people, when they're young, they sacrifice time for wealth, and when they get old, they sacrifice wealth to buy time. It's kind of it's a yin and a yang. It's kind of why would you do that if you just want time? Why would you work so hard so you can then buy more, have money to prolong your life and live this life when you didn't do anything constructive in the first place? It's kind of I kind of think, to be honest with you, I found that the more things I acquired material goods, and that the more I wanted. When I got rid of some of them, I didn't so much need to possess and own them.
But the need to possess is still very important to you.
I think it is. I do need to possess and hoard things. Yes, I find it hard because I had extreme poverty in my life. I find it hard to get rid of things. I find it very difficult.
So the existential Archie, the person who's searching for the next greater version of themselves,
Yes.
tell me a bit about that. What's the next recreation of Archie?
Well, I think the next recreation of Archie is going to be I'm not necessarily seeking financial money for the sake of having banknotes or hoarding as such. It's more to have freedom to do what I really want to pursue and enjoy.
How much of you is seeking recognition from the watch industry? How much of you is seeking the invites to the great gala displays? How much of you is
Yes.
wishing you'd receive a plane ticket and a set of tails
Exactly.
to wear to Basel World?
Exactly.
How much of that is part of your dream?
Oh, I think a large part of it is. A large part of it is, but I then every step of the way I'm shooting myself in the foot to get that.
What would give you greater freedom? The freedom or the relief of not having that need?
Well,
or the relief of not having to have material possessions?
Well, the problem is, in the quest to get notoriety, you have to speak your mind, but then none of these big brands want to know you if you're such a loose cannon or so uncontrollable and so politically incorrect and so unbankable. They don't want to be associated with you. The ArchieLuxury character is yogurt that's been put in the sun for a week. It's toxic. They kind of push you out,
So what are the millstones around your neck?
Millstones. I've got many millstones. Engine blocks around my neck. I suppose, the biggest millstones at the moment are my I want to provide a safe environment for my 2 younger children. I want them to go to schooling. I want them to I've kind of changed my philosophy on aims for them. My son, he's quite bright. I'd prefer him to be a teacher than a lawyer or a doctor. I prefer him to be a teacher because I kind of don't, being another corporate lawyer in this world, not to put corporate lawyers in this world down, but is that happiness? What is that exactly? What is success? Is success relating to young kids and helping them through their life? I think the society we live in has really, I'm really against the fact that we value the teaching so little. Teachers are paid, they're paid okay, but they're not paid huge money. The people who earn the fortune are the corporate lawyers, the bean counters who can
Move money.
Exactly. It's kind of frustrating to see this, and I suppose me as a person, I find that very, very challenging. I find that challenging and upsetting. So I suppose the millstones around my neck. What millstones do I have? Well, I want to see my kids do well. When I say well, I don't mean to have a Mercedes Benz, but to have happiness in their life.
But what could you let go of your own personality
Yes.
that would bring you relief?
I don't think there's anything I could let go to.
Holding on to it tight.
I think I've done that. I've gotten rid of it.
So you've liberated yourself
Yes.
of the things that can hold you back.
Yes, I have. MasterCard, Visa, and personal loans, which I have a constant struggle, because I was looking at ways I could finance a Lange 1 now, but that's going to put me into slavery for 5 years to...
So let's not talk about money then. Let's
No.
talk about neuroses or
Yes.
habits or attitudes or
Yes.
outlooks that are the real millstones that are holding you back.
Yes.
What
yes.
are they?
Well, I suppose I've got a lot of the conditioning I had as a kid. I carry forward these conditioning of success. What is success? I'm conditioned by your parents, I suppose, to a large extent. If I don't have the 6-figure income, don't have the fancy European car, the big house, these things I don't seem to have.
Well, thank you for that frank disclosure.
No worries there. So that's how it is. I don't think I'm that successful. What is success? What is these things? I've done many wonderful things. Like where I see a lot of where I see a lot of, I've been very fortunate. I've had some incredibly successful people who have spent time with me. So I had a billionaire who flew me to spend time with him. That was very much an eye-opening thing. I had a couple of really wealthy multi-millionaire people who've wanted to spend time with me, and I've seen a side of life that I probably wouldn't be exposed to unless you were on the same level as them. So I've been able to sneak into that group for a short time. So I suppose I'm very fortunate to have been able to see these things.
Again, you seem to see the world as through working class eyes, and almost as though you're subversive by getting
Yes.
a glimpse into this world. You do that by purchasing luxury goods that you can hold secondhand. Or you
Yes.
do it through basically sneaking on the coattails of other people. Do you think it's
Yes.
because maybe yourself you don't feel worthy?
Oh, definitely. We've all got psychological problems. I think we'll just cut that one there. Hi guys. A fan of mine has been inspired to start a wristwatch series of his own. Bitter Poet Madman. That's the name of his channel. And the show is called It's Complicated. That's right, it's complicated. It looks like he has some nice examples. I saw he has a Rolex. Rolex! He recently just got an Omega. He talks watch accessories, does reviews, unboxings, and talks about new and pre-owned wristwatches. Again, the channel name is Bitter Poet Madman. Bitter Poet Madman. So why don't you fuckers let that fucker know what you think of that? Bitter Poet Madman channel.
Hey yo, I'm Bitter Poet Madman, the host of It's Complicated, a wristwatch series. We talk about luxury watches, we talk about affordable watches, we're going to review those watches, we're going to talk about the watch market in general. I'm going to tell you how to get good bargains, I'm going to show you how to find good watches used, I'm going to show you how to find affordable watches new, and how to save money on that grail piece that you're looking at.
To me on Patreon that allows you to send a small monthly amount to me every month. It can be $1, it can be $100, whatever you can afford. The next way you can help me is, well guys, I really need some money to keep things going. Paid reviews. On the Paul Pluta channel, I run paid reviews. For as little as $20 US, I'll give you an opinion of your collection, of what you're looking at. I'll try and answer. There's heaps of other ways you can help me. I do telephone consultancy. For $50 US, I will talk to you on Skype or WhatsApp and answer your horological or personal problems. Any questions, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Now guys, please help us out. Look down below, and if you could help us out, I will stay here and make videos full time on YouTube.